Welcome back to some professional Starcraft 2 from the War Chest Team League, where 8 of the top 10 SC2 casters chose a fantasy draft team of some of the best players in the world. 4 players per team, and these are 2 of them. A highlight match. Let me first introduce the finisher for the War Pigs team. Pretty on the nose. Thusly pink, as well, as we go by that. You may know him. He goes by Serral. And in the top right, on Team Rifkin, named Call an Ambulance, but not for us. Team Liquid's very own French Terran. One of the only men able to take Serral on and beat him recently. I mean, really throughout this year. There's Raynor, and then there's Clem. So, if you were to find someone to put up against Serral, there's a very short list of potential options. And Clem is... I think he might have the highest... Raynor probably still has the highest win rate against Serral this year, or generally. But Clem is close on the list. It's not a long list. You can probably count the amount of people who've won a game, like a game against Serral, in low double digits. And this format does mean best of 1. So they only have this single match in a head-to-head Team League setup to prove that they are truly the greatest player in the entire world. And then they get to claim the Dragon Balls. I really thought I had a third part of that joke. But hopefully, both of these players have a better build order than I did there. But, on the bright side, we have made it all the way to the Reaper being across the map, and now being very concerned that there's nothing there, a hatchery's not done, already bringing down extra SCVs. Clem has figured out exactly when that pull was. He knows that it's not going to be a huge amount of lanes because of the hatchery timing, but it is still dangerous. So he brings the Reaper back. He brings a couple SCVs down to kind of run protection and interference for that Marine. But, the Reaper, Clem's Reaper micro, second to none. Well, Beyond's back. Okay, second to Beyond, but otherwise. Zergling speed finishes. Can Clem actually... No. Your Reaper doesn't live through... Oh, whoa! Oh, my God! Oh, my God! Oh, he might lose some SCVs. But what? Serral didn't even react. He just gave up. Oh. Never mind. I don't know what I was saying. Don't be ridiculous. Beyond's going to have to reclaim this throne because Liquid Clem is currently the King of Reapers. He knows what to do and how to do it. Even Serral doesn't even try. Like, a lot of players would try to chase the Reaper after that juke and be like, well, I mean, I can still get it, right? No. Serral just gave up on the whole idea. He was trying to get us around. It didn't happen. We move on. It was so clean. The timing was so perfect. I can't get over it. But if I was to get over it, I would tell you, 1, check out this new sick overlay we got, the Pro 2020 overlay. A little bit easier to see on mobile. Give some feedback on that. Still, some things could be adjusted, but this is available for anyone who actually knows how to open a replay with the observer interface. You can see the worker count, you got your army supply, you got your resources that they currently have, you got your income as well. You can see who has more based on the little arrows there. That's pretty fun. And then upgrades will be over here when they actually get some. But so far, Serral setting himself up for what passes for a standard macro game nowadays. Mutas are back in style. People have kind of figured out Hydroling Bane is out. Mutas are in. Still, some players will try that Roach Bane, or maybe just going straight up to Infestation Pit, but more times than not nowadays, you see a Spire Slap down. Now let's try to poke full Brand up! You can't! That's like 8 headlands! Oh my God! Where are you? Oh my, hanging me out to dry there. 1-1's on the way. Engineering base, quite slow for Clem, because he did go for a quick third CC, which means he's going to have plenty of SCVs. He's going to be able to compete as the economies get larger here, and his production now is the focus. The engineering base, 1-1, started up. Third base being taken. Lair, wow, wait. I don't know why, but I thought the lair was done. No, Serral's going for the upgrades first, and then a pretty late lair, to be honest. A lot of the times you see players preferring the lair first to be able to get baneling speed or things like that. The Liberator, I completely missed it. It looks like Serral did not. It got 0 kills and it's at half HP, so that tells a story. This queen has another story to tell, probably more angrily. Overlord dies, it looks like, despite some early shenanigans, some rude gestures, and some cheeky plays. We're gonna find ourselves in a macro game. 1-1, finishing up for Serral. Still pretty far out for Clem, but he's getting his armory in a very timely manner. In fact, he might want to just combine it into a Hellbat push here as the medevacs come out. The usual trigger for a whole lot of early Terran pressure. When you can no longer easily just be surrounded and killed, you do have that evacuation route. Serral just getting the creep everywhere, spreading it out. He's not been under very much pressure. This is spotted out. He's going to go for the Hydralisk. No Spire this game. We're going back to basics. Just want something safe and secure. Mutas are risky against players as fast as Clem. What I mean by that is he's going to be able to manage multiple parts of the map, which Mutas usually are good at exploiting. Not many players can keep up with 3-4 different areas at once. Liberator comes in, picks up its very first kill. The Spore Crawler on the chase. The little things and the big things. Liberators left unchecked can be incredibly annoying. The Zergling's looking for a surround. The pickups are there. Brenda, where are you going? Shut up, Karen. I used all my energy. No respect. Drilling Claws on the way. I think Clem, no reason not to get Drilling Claws, but also kind of suspecting Mutas potentially. Things coming in. Okay, can we... I want it to be like I'm there, but not as a Terran. Like as an observer, or as the Zerg right now, probably would be better. But a lot of these Terran units are gonna die. So are the Zerg, but I would stand back and watch. I'm more of a queen myself, I would say. That fits me. Anyways, baneling speed is done. Hellbats. Serral's looking for a huge wraparound. It's taken a long time to get here, but plenty of Lings and Banes on both sides. Clem with a beautiful spread. He cleared out some of the creep. It looks like, despite the great surround, Serral took a long time closing the jaws of that attack around Clem's army. And what does that mean? The fact that any amount of units live through that. Banelings, now this is very sad, but when they attack, they die. Those Banelings aren't coming back. They're not going to get healed. They don't get another chance. But these Marines and the Hellbats, they do. Drilling Claws is done. Big push coming in. +2 done for Serral, though, which means these Lings and Banes are more cost-effective. Hydra's on the way. Hydra speed isn't even there. He's got Hydra range, which is a little better defensively. Oh, more. The Widowmine threatening a big connection. He's trying to drag it out, but the tanks are making sure the Widowmine doesn't find the lock-on. Here comes the surround. Serral pulls the trigger. Widowmine's connecting, but not particularly well on the Banes. He needs Banelings. If Serral doesn't have Banes, the Marines can just stand their ground. It really depends on the Zergling count. Looking to micro back. No, he's holding. He's holding. The Hydra count is pretty damn high. The Widowmine looking for a target. Finds it on the Hydralisk. Holding his ground, but Clem is forced back off of the creep. The upgrade's a little bit too cost-effective thus far. Serral holds. 76 workers against 74. You might think we're slowing down. We're not. I'd be surprised if Serral... we might play half-court take-back, but no way Clem is a player who's going to go back and turtle in his base. Not with 2-2 about to finish. That was the only difference. Serral is not going to hold on with that same supply difference again. Now that 2-2 upgrades are done for Clem, is there an infestation pick? There is not. Which means as Clem starts the +3, which takes just as much time as the Zerg version, he has a window opening up for a +3/+3 attack timing, or just generally be more cost-effective. So Serral now, despite having all these bases, we're not there yet, but Serral's going to have to make a decision. That decision is, are we just going to try to hold on and get to Hive, or do I put together some sort of potentially game-ending attack? There's not much creep. Clem has done it. Oh my god, he sniped! He sniped the Changeling. Of course, that Marine looked a little suspicious walking with all the Hydras and Lings. I will give him that. It's not as impressive as I originally thought once I took 2 seconds to think about it, but still. Hive has begun. Drops clearing up creep on both sides. Serral pushing 500 actions per minute. And Clem's at 400, but of course building Zerglings is a lot of actions in and of itself. So these guys, pretty quick. Pretty quick. I'm going to take a little time. Let's go to the Clem camp. Let's see what he's focusing on. As right now, no reason not to put pressure on. He's maxed out. Clem pushing in towards the 5th base. Drilling Claws, mines, burrow down. Concussive Shells is finishing up. Not that that's going to be particularly relevant. A lot of those mine shots coming in. Spreads, only a handful of Marines going forward. Enough to bait out the Banelings, but not enough that if they connect, it's going to be devastating. Still, +3/+3 on the way. Both sides are pretty damn close to maxing out. The Hive is not done. Macro time, moving his command center. Great free spread here. Widowmine's well placed. The reinforcements are in position to be able to cut off any run-bys. Big scan, sees units coming in, holds his ground. Whole lot of Marines. Medevacs helping out all as much as they possibly can. Banelings crush through the front, but the main brunt of the Bioforce works well off of creep on the side. Marauders stimming forward. Medevac's nearly out of energy, but most of his units still in pretty solid health. Microing back with just a handful of Marines, using those Marauders as a buffer. Another drop coming in. Planetary Fortress being added on. Serral under a lot of pressure. Let's go to the Serral camp.
Creep tumor under
using
attack.
Abathur, of course, a strong and superior choice, as Abathur would agree, I'm sure. Creep spread. He knows that drops are a threat. He knows they're out here somewhere. Desperately trying to keep up the creep, be able to keep up vision, and of course move your units around.
Forces under attack.
Handful of Zerglings. Finds it. Vipers on the way. +1 ranged attack. Vipers means that Serral he needs something. He needs something soon. Otherwise, Clem's going to solidify his position. And did you miss his injects? Serral, calm down. All right, but back to the whole picture. Marines and Marauders poking forward. Clem not committing much of his army here, actually. There's no other Hive tech besides +3 Carapace and some Vipers. I mean, Vipers are incredible units that aren't utilized, I think, enough. Especially in this kind of scenario. Burrow is used. Did Clem notice the Burrow? There's a lot going on. Burrow Banes are on the table. High-sec auto-tracking and Neo-Steel. He didn't see the Burrowlings. I'm sure he just stemmed his Marines back. They haven't been spotted yet. That could be incredibly helpful. Yanks a tank. I'm not sure it actually accomplished anything, but it looked very dramatic. Widowmines finding big connections. He drags out a couple others. The Lings are still burrowed for now. Clem has a whole lot of units up towards this top left side. Serral can't really push through. I'm really just waiting. Lings, do the legs, Serral! I mean, there's a lot going on. But is there a parasitic bomb for those medevacs? Great blinding cloud covers a couple tanks. The legs! I'm sorry, you see, this is why no one does burrowed things. They're too distracting to the observers. And also to the players. There's a lot going on. A couple scans. Oh, Brenda! Oh, their knees are broken and their bodies battered as only one queen survives. But better them than the main brunt of the Hydradlings and Banes, giving their lives. A great spread again from Clem. The Banelings just going by. Parasitic bomb on one of the medevacs. That's a lot of Zerglings there. That is a whole heap and helping. Serral's pushing back, but Widowmines take big chunks out of this Ling force. He comes down the ramp. He comes off the creep. And the Terrans stand their ground. Oh, more queens! What are you doing? And he targets the one that was about to get to the creep first, Clem. Regicide. Another on the long list of things he's accused of. I can't stop looking at the broad lengths. Like, how does Serral do it? How does Serral not worry about this yet? Technically, the Lings just scouted this drop headed out, but those scans, like, you can kind of, at this time, it doesn't matter, even if both players had perfect map vision. Ah, the Zerglings! He only unburrows some of them! Oh, now we're getting cute with this? Okay. Wow, Serral. What if you could morph Banes underground? Meanwhile, this base has gone down. Serral pressured on both sides. Clem is banking money, and Serral isn't even maxed. Slick pickup goes to the high ground. What is Serral's late game strat? He's got worse upgrades. He's not maxed. Like, how does he beat this army composition? Clem keeps making progress. Serral's lost 11,000 more resources. What? That doesn't happen. Clem has been ridiculously cost-effective this game. This has finally been cleaned up. Finally, the Lings as well. But the Lings and Bane struggling on the other side of the map. Serral desperate to hold on to his third. He has a couple more bases to mine from, but you never want to give them up for free. The Banelings rolling through, getting as far as they can, eating as many shots. A handful of medevacs left with energy. The Marine count dwindles underneath, but Serral's supply is looking dangerously low. There's still a Widow Mine over there, but that Widow Mine will cover the retreat of most of these medevacs. Clem is just outplaying Serral right now. This isn't a particularly large map. If a Terran player is able to take the initiative and keep the pressure on a Zerg and keep the creep down, then there's not much space between defending your base and attacking theirs. Serral doesn't have much time to rebuild Lings and Banes that he would have on, say, like Eternal Empire. Clem never putting all his eggs in one particularly dangerous basket. I mean, that's most of the medevacs, but that's definitely not all the army supply. A little bit more is coming up. Widow Mines are burrowed, looking for connections. Finding some decent ones. The only downside of this style that Clem is playing is if he loses a couple fights in a row like that without trading, of course he's going to trade, but without trading, hypothetically, he takes a couple bad fights in a row, well, then things get dicey. But while he might take some hits on one side, he's always hitting somewhere else. 12 drones, and a hatchery, and counting. Serral getting dragged all over the place, as Clem is just everywhere at once. Every time Serral takes a step forward, he has to take two back, and he has nowhere left to retreat to but the defeat screen. Clem outplaying Serral. 633 Lings. Not nearly enough. I think Serral going for the Hydraling Bane was maybe a little... I think you go for that if you think you can just get a huge economy and crush him. But he didn't realize Clem had gone for 3CC quite as quick. And he wasn't really able to set anything up to pressure a fourth. So Clem just micro super well on 3-4 different fronts while macroing perfectly. Boom. Easy win against the world champion. Hopefully you enjoyed this War Chest Team League match. I don't know if any of you watched live. What did you think? Leave a comment after liking, subscribing, ringing the bell, and making sure you watch all of my videos. Okay, maybe the last 1,000 or so. Before that, you can be picky. But thank you for watching. Good luck, and have fun.